guys, day 2. So day 2 is a little bit of an informational video. Yes, I know I'm in the same top. It's warm and I prefer this top. Anyway, so day number 2 is an informational video and I want it to be my only one. So I am, and I've wrote a bunch down, so be wary, be very wary. Anyway, so I am a solitary practitioner, and so I usually do my rituals by myself, usually, and when I say that, you know, I usually don't have one or two other people, but sometimes I do. So first, I wanted to give you a bit of a broad view, and like I said, this is broad. I'm not pinpointing anyone. I'm an eclectic witch myself, so I put a lot of practices into mine that are not one fully as a whole. But, so, Suin, which is October 31st to November 2nd, is known as Suin, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, Day of the Dead, Feast of the Dead, which is New Year, and a ton of other names by different religions, different people. And the meaning is a celebration, for me anyway, is a celebration of those past and honoring of ancestors. The veil between the living and the dead is lifted, the third and final harvest, and at the end of the summer and the beginning of the darker part of the year. The deities are Caradwin, Hades, Hecate, Inanna, Lilith, Persephone, Psyche, and Rhiannon. Like I said, this is a generalization. You can, for your altar, things like pictures and items of the deceased, apples, bells, besoms, which are brooms, bones, jack-o'-lanterns, masks, pumpkins, sickle or size, skull, wine, and I can't read my own writing, so. And some of the colors are orange, white, green, black, and gray. The stones for this day are amethyst, obsidian, petrified wood, jet, onyx, and smoky quartz. Herbs are catnip, mugwort, patchouli, sage, lavender, nutmeg, and rosemary. And for your table, not necessarily your altar, you can have seasonal harvest foods, apples, beef, nuts, pears, pomegranates, pork, poultry, pumpkins, soul cakes, and turnips. Some activities you can do on this day is bury apples to feed the souls of past ancestors, carve a jack-o'-lantern to protect your home from negative energies, create a memory or ancestor altar for past loved ones, create a witch bottle to protect yourself and your home, create masks as a traditional way to protect yourself from boogans or negative spirits, hold a dumb supper, and I really don't like that, a meal where no one may talk to honor the dead, burn a note to a past loved one, or I can't even read my writing. Leave a plate at your dinner table for the deceased. Leave offerings just outside your door to the dead. Make a besom for your new year. Perform divination while the veil is thin. And I do plan to do so. Okay. Let's see. Some of these I forgot that I wrote, and so some of these are just recipes and things like that. Okay, so that's it for the generalization. To me, I do practice it on the 31st. Some witches in the southern hemisphere will be a different date. Halloween obviously is the 31st, but actual Suin, the fourth harvest, would be on a different date in the southern hemisphere, because I'm a northern hemisphere witch. I consider this time to be to honor my ancestors. I also consider this the witch's new year. I generally, if it is possible, if it is warm enough outside / cool enough outside, I don't know if that makes sense or not. So if it's too hot, I don't like to do it, but if it's too cold, I can't either. I burn a ritual fire in order to honor my ancestors, as well as enjoy the last days of summer, sometimes the last warm days we have here. I usually put out my jack-o'-lanterns. I participate in the silent supper, I like to call it, because I don't like dumb supper, and I generally do most of my divination on this day. I also make an altar in order to honor my ancestors and things like that. So that was a bit long-winded, but that's the only long-winded thing I'm going to do. The next is going to be, I don't know, I haven't figured that out yet, but those are my 2 mainly speaking and not doing days. Information and an introduction. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow in the next video. Blessed be, and keep crafting, witches.